Hey guys, it's midnight here, Tuesday night, and I just thought I'd do a quick little recap of the day, just some thoughts for the night to kind of close things out. First of all, you saw how it is down there at night. Um, Everybody's having fun. There's no danger. And I just thought it would be important to point out something too. You would think that going down there at night, you got the music blaring, everybody's dancing, all that stuff. Probably, being that cannabis is totally legalized in Canada, that there'd be stoned people everywhere. The air would be just thick with the smell of pot, and there'd be drunk people everywhere. In the time that I've been here, I think we've seen one fellow who looked like maybe a street person was drunk. One. I think once since we came here, I think it was the first day that we were here, we smelled pot. Just a quick little whiff of it, and then it was gone. That was it. Nobody's inebriated, nobody's stoned. Everybody's just laughing and having a good time. So I wanted to point that out just because, there might be some misjudgments laid on the part of the protesters that are here that are just, they're just turning it into a big free-for-all party. It's not like that. Secondly, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just some guy. I'm just a carpenter. I'm here to stand with the truckers and the movement. And the only reason why I'm doing these videos is because I want people back home to be able to see them, and you can send these videos to your family or friends and say, hey, I know this guy. He's a local guy, and he's down there and he can attest to what's really going on. So I'm not, I have no real desire to go beyond that. When all of this is over, I probably won't do much with the channel again. I went a long time without posting any videos because, at first it was just posting videos of us defying Empress Bonnie's edicts in BC to hold church services in the park. And then I thought, man, when I listen to, real preachers, the last thing in the world anybody needs to do is listen to me. You can tune into real good preachers like John MacArthur or the like. So that said, these are just random thoughts, by the way, that I've thought I need to kind of mention these things in these videos. Another thing is, we hear about Doug Ford walking back on everything. I've just heard a rumor that the Emergencies Act is going to be thrown out or shut down or whatever. I don't know. Rumors fly like crazy around here, and of course they go out all over the world and everything. Just wait and see. Try not to get too excited when you hear good news like that, but at the same time, don't lose hope. Like, man, from what I'm getting, there's no way that the police that are here are going to enforce any of that stuff. At least the police that we've seen, the majority of them are just happy, nice people. They're witnessing, probably the most peaceful protests they've ever seen in their life, if they've seen protests before, which I'm sure living in Ottawa they have. And they're just good people like us, hardworking. At the end of the day, they take their uniforms off and they, go to restaurants and they hang out with their family, their wives, their kids, their husbands, and all that stuff. I mean, they're just normal people, and they see what's going on here too. They see how Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh and even the Conservatives at certain times have painted this. and they see what's really going on, and they're not having any of it. So just some thoughts there. Another random thought I had is, every day we walk down there and we walk around and we see people that are kind of, you know, unhappy. They're wearing masks. When you walk from where we are down on Elgin, I think it's Elgin and McLaren, um, you pass by people that are just kind of going about their daily lives, and they're wearing masks outdoors and stuff. And sometimes they kind of give you a glare as you're walking by with a hockey stick and a flag attached to it. And honestly, I can't help but feel so sorry for these people, because they are missing out on one of the most incredible events in Canadian history. I mean, what a time to be alive in Canada. Like this puts so many other major events, kind of in the shadow by comparison. This is so huge, and we're leading the world. And so, just in case somebody out there who watches this, I mean, why you'd be watching me, I have no idea. But just in case somebody's out there watching this and you're one of those people who you walk around with a chip on your shoulder and you wear your mask dutifully and everything, and you just hate all these freedom-loving, freedom-fighting people, just please consider you might be on the wrong side of history in this. And if you are, just suppose that there's a possibility that you are. If you are on the wrong side of this, years from now, you're going to look back at this brief time in history and you're going to regret that you were never part of it. And with that said, I would also encourage anyone else that might be sitting on the fence about maybe coming down to Ottawa. Maybe you live not too far away. Maybe you live far away, whatever. If you have the ability to come, I would say we're probably approaching your last chance to come and be a part of this. And I don't say that to try and, kind of get you to come, except for your own sake. I mean, if you can come, there's nothing like this. I wish my wife and kids could be here for this. I really do. Boy, do I wish they could be here for this. When I first set out to do this with Ewan and Bram, at first, it's funny. Bram had kind of toyed with the idea of coming out to Ottawa or going to Victoria or something like that to protest. Ewan was the first to mention it to me on Sunday, a week ago Sunday, and he said, Joe, I think we need to go to Ottawa. And I was like, I don't know about that. I mean, what good am I going to do out there? And, all that. Well, God got a hold of my heart on that Monday night with the truckers' press conference. And they said, if you can come to Ottawa, we need you now. And that just hit me right in the heart. And I knew I had to come. And I am not the kind of person that enjoys being away from my family. I really am I'm a home guy, family man, love my family. And whenever I go on long hunting trips, I'm just counting the hours, because I want to get home. And hopefully, preferably with a moose or an elk or something like that. But this is different, and I know why I'm here is to fight for the freedom of my children and my grandchildren, a grandchild on the way, and any future grandbabies, and to know that I did everything that I possibly could for their future. And I am so thankful that I can be here. And I know there are so many of you that you genuinely wish you could come and you can't. And so this is another reason why I'm doing these videos. I wish I was better at it. I mean, there's lots of other guys that are way better at it. So, just keep checking those ones. But just know that, that's one of the reasons why I'm doing these too, is so that like I know you're with us in spirit, and we're, trying to represent you as well. So yeah, just some thoughts before going to bed. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, but today was pretty cool. Today was a day that I thought if something bad could happen, it might happen today, but I just had a good feeling about it. It's the fog of war. It's a war of attrition, right? Trudeau and his government are trying to wear us down, and we're trying to wear them down. And as long as things stay peaceful, then we're gonna come out all right. But again, my greatest concern is, Jesus said, without me, you can do nothing. And even if we win at this, if we as Christians don't disciple the nation of Canada, that's what Jesus said to do. Go out into all the world and make disciples of every nation. I'm not saying like we disciple the entire nation all at once, obviously, but we need to be making disciples. He didn't say make converts. He said, go out, make disciples. And we're to teach the disciples that we make disciples of Jesus Christ, that we bring the message to them. They become his disciples, and we teach them to obey all things which he commanded. Well, that's what Canada was founded on. And that's what, at one time, Britain and Australia, the United States, all these Commonwealth and free Western nations were founded upon those very laws that God commanded in his word. And we're seeing the breakdown of society as a result of a society that has thrown God out. If we don't succeed at this, then it is because the nations of the world have said, we will not have this one to rule over us. We don't want Jesus. And I know that that's a general sentiment among many Christians, that I know that, this is probably the end times. We're probably not going to, make it very far before the mark of the beast and all that stuff. We don't know when that is. We have to just face the fact that it could be many years yet. And in the meantime, we have a gospel message to bring to the world. And if we want to see longevity in our children's future, we need to bring the gospel out there. We need to proclaim the supremacy of Christ. We need to reclaim in government the truth of the supremacy of Christ. And if we don't do that, then we have no one else to blame but ourselves. We're the light of the world. We're the salt of the earth. Consider hard what that really means. Because I love what's going on here. It's a beautiful thing in terms of just a general human experience. But it's the gospel that brings lasting change. It's the gospel. Now, I will say, and maybe I'll end with this thought, I will say that while we have been witnessing a world that has essentially said to God, we don't want you, so get out of all our institutions, our schools, and everything else. And God has basically pulled back and said, okay, you want a world without me? I'll give you a taste of it. And that's what we've had the last 2 years. And that's what's on the horizon, is not just a taste of it, but he's given us a taste of it so that we know what it will cost us if we don't return to him as a nation. If we've been given so much light. Jesus said, to whom much is given, much is required. We have been given so much light. It's not like, the nations of the world that have, struggled and struggled. All the Western nations have a Judeo-Christian basis for their laws because it was founded upon those principles, the principles of Scripture. And it's the freedoms that we've enjoyed for all these years have resulted from that. And that's why all the other nations flock to our nations to enjoy that freedom, because they don't have that freedom. They don't have that God. Canada's coat of arms says, it quotes the Psalms, the psalm that says, he shall have dominion from sea to shining sea. And we know Jesus Christ is the King of all kings, the Lord of all lords, and he must reign until all his enemies are made his footstool. We know that he is the ruler over the kings of the earth, right? Revelation 1. We know, I think it's 1:5. We know that all authority in heaven and on earth has been given unto him. And that's the basis for the Great Commission. Remember, Matthew 28:18. So let's, as Christians, really, really wake up. If you've been on the wrong side of this and you're a Christian, if you're a pastor especially, determine in your heart that you are never going to get sucked into such a deception ever again. If you've always been kind of on the right side of this, then pray that God doesn't allow you to fall into deception. Matthew 24, Jesus says over and over again, take heed that you're not deceived. False Christs, false prophets, even showing great signs and wonders so as to deceive, if possible, even the elect. I mean, these are serious warnings. We're warned over and over again about being deceived. And we need to be the light and the salt of the earth so that we can show them the way. And I just think it's so awesome what's happening. It's so heartbreaking in other ways that the church in Canada could have had so much more of a role to play in this. And she didn't. She didn't. And yeah. Anyways, just some random thoughts. I'm sorry. I'm tired. But these are all important things that have been on my heart to say for a while. I'll probably think of more when I end the video, but it's already going on almost 20 minutes. Hey, love you guys. God bless you. And just keep praying for Canada and the world. We're leading the world into a new era of peaceful demonstration. And, the powers that shouldn't be are really having a tough time trying to figure out how to deal with that. They can deal with violence. They know exactly how to deal with violence. They have tools like guns and tanks and armored personnel carriers and an unlimited supply of money and personnel that they can throw at those kind of problems. Peaceful protesting, they don't know what to do. What are they going to do? So there's a whole bunch of trucks on Parliament Hill. Okay, freeze the bank accounts. It's okay. We're not going anywhere. And besides, by the time all the dust settles and all this is over, chances are we're going to win in court to win all that stuff back. So, and even if we don't, it's a cheap price to pay for the future of our children and grandchildren. Cheap. All right. God bless. Love you guys.